Yeah, if you only knew what I've been through, maybe your mouth would stay shut, but no. Keep yapping, lose balance, I knew balance your dome. You playing with my dough and that's a no-no. Got a baby sucker, so I see you as stealing food off his plate. Open the floodgates like how that blood tastes. Your civilized world's full of cowards, but walking my street, I show you real power. Said I'm a lover, not a fighter, but I do them both well. It's time to focus on your own before you see your boat sail. Punks are origami, folded while I'm all in. Now you trying to put me back on my back because you see me ballin'. Studied the 48 to 57 altar war seduction. Tony Tupac all the way from Bone and Tupac. Believe I'm ready for what you got. It don't compare with pulling out my hair to choose to cut my bro off life support after another cold blue. Use a fleece so minuscule. I'm doing me, so do like me, except instead of me, do you. It's your man Kahlee, politicking with politicking.com. Fresh state.
All right, welcome back to politicking with Kahlee. How you doing, bro?
What up, what up? It's your man Kahlee, the Fresh State, Platform Collection, Proof of Life Radio, 17, 18, 19, 20 other things, you know what I mean? But we'll leave it at that.
All right, so talk about your background a little bit and how you got involved with music. How long you been involved?
Music is music, so obviously from a fan standpoint, been involved since a child, you know, with family having parties. We was like the party house, so people coming over playing instruments all night, all morning type shit, you know what I mean? But just got involved freestyling, man. You know, you go to shows or you go to parties in high school and fools is rapping. Sometimes they dope, most of the time they're not. Wanted to tell them, figured the best way to tell them was in their own way, you know what I mean? So I started barring out, eventually got decent, eventually got what I consider to be pretty dope, you know what I mean? Freestyling and stuff like that. Sometimes I still be freestyling, sometimes I shouldn't. But yeah, man, just started making music. At first it was just like, man, I just want to rock and be able to freestyle because I thought that shit was dope. Participate in the culture that I love so much from the outside, you know what I mean? A little bit of graph, we ain't gonna get deep into that. But
who's some of your influences?
Man, it's hard to say because I'm being so many different things, but people that stick out in my mind are really like regional, you know, I mean international, but regional. LA, you know, Tumex and shit, Dilated Peoples. I'll even go for, you know, Crooked Eye, Chino XL, of course Eminem, Talib Kweli. You know, all these cats, I really got into them when I was in high school. I would say people like Bone Thugs too, NWA, shit like that. I would say Bone Thugs didn't necessarily influence anything as far as my style. Maybe, I'm not aware of it. But, you know, I came up in Gardena, that's where I'm from, and the Rhodium right around the corner. The Rhodium is like our equivalent to Cedar Park, you know, where hip hop started. I don't know if you remember Scratch Magazine, it was really dope, mainly producer based, and they used to have this thing where they would shine a light. It was a full page article on like hip hop landmarks. The first magazine, what was this shit? The first issue had Dr. Dre on the cover, and they did Cedar Park and shit. The second issue had Preem on the cover, and they did the Rhodium, and that's just not even a 5-minute drive from where I grew up, you know? And that's where NWA basically was spawned, you know, shit like that. So yeah, you know, things like that. My delivery definitely got more of a street feel. Cats that don't listen to what I'm talking about. I used to try to get pushed out in like Japan and shit, and they'd be like, man, your shit too hard. I'm like, my shit is not too hard, bruh. But whatever, you know what I mean?
Say, describe your style.
Definitely the things, it's definitely some reality rap, and a lot of cats say that, but that's general. It depends on you. You know, I got a family. I got a son, a wife, a daughter on the way. I'm blessed to have a lot of different nationalities and colors around me all my life. You know, I'm a big mutt myself, you know what I mean? Hawaiian, Mexican, Portuguese, a shitload of other stuff. So all those things come through, you know what I mean? I still work a 9 to 5. All these things still come through. And, you know, as far as like delivery and things like that, I just try to flip it all the time. Never trying to come the same way too many times. You know, when you fuck with a lot of people, I got a crew with like 10, 12 dope MCs, and everybody got different styles, different ways of barring out, different patterns and shit. So I think you naturally kind of take a little bit of this, take a little bit of that, put your own twist on it. So it's hard to put a finger on, but for the most part, man, it's just some real hip hop. You know, I try to merge with whatever I'm doing and kind of make my own thing out of it, you know what I mean?
So what would you say makes you unique as an artist?
Man, I know one thing is for sure. I try to just bring my life out there, you know, and a lot of people say that, and I think a lot of people do it. You know, obviously everybody's life's different. I'm not out there like beating your head with the shit that I'm about. I'm just doing what I'm about. It's gonna naturally come out. I mean, I give a shit. I don't give a shit to the point where I'm gonna sacrifice all my time with my family. It's hard enough trying to do, you know, I'm trying to make this my full-time job. I still got a 9 to 5, you know what I mean? So to come home and try to break up that time between my passion / career that I'm trying to make my number one with my family, which actually is number one, man, that right there is tough. And that shit comes out. And I don't really hear a lot of people doing that. I don't want to call it regular guy rap, but man, I'm a regular dude, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things I do that I think is extraordinary, but so are you, you know what I mean? So is my mans. And man, we ain't talking about that though. We as hip hop or rap right now is talking about lean, man, fuck you. You stupid, man. You want to do lean? Do your thing, I guess, you know what I mean? But chill the fuck out on trying to make everybody that you down with do it, or even worse, you know what's worse than that? I think people who don't even do it. People who just pretend like they do it, or they just do it because everybody else does it. You a fucking follower. And hip hop is the opposite of that. You know, you definitely need to know how to follow to lead and be a leader, but y'all ain't leaders. People do what you doing and you think you a leader because they following you, but you following somebody else. You ain't a leader, you a sucker. So with me and a lot of other people, I ain't the only one, but we just trying to do what's real. You know, I'm just trying to do what's real, my life, do me, put it out there, you know what I mean? And if it's something you could relate to, man, you really relating to it. Whereas a lot of people just, you know, I do this, I do that. You doing what everybody else is doing so somebody likes you, but they're gonna be gone the next minute when there's something new going on and you ain't riding on that bandwagon. You know, so I know for a fact that there's a lot of heads that might just see my album cover and not give it a chance because it's got my family on it. But then they hear me bar out on just some MC shit, just ripping the mic, and then they're like, damn, you can rap. I'm like, damn, okay, thanks for giving me a chance, you know what I mean? I know I'm kind of going off, but I mean, the truth is I'm just humble, but sometimes, man, people need to know how different people look at them. And maybe they'll look at them for themselves instead of putting on a mask in front of the mirror, you know what I'm saying? To the point where they don't know if they taking off a mask or putting one on, you know what I mean?
So in your current projects you're working on right now, your current projects, and you was talking about your crew?
Yeah, so first of all, I'm part of a crew called The Fresh State. We all got a shitload of stuff going on. You know, I'm a curator at platformcollection.com, which I would say our bread and butter, I guess, is we're a podcast network. So I have a radio show, kind of like a mix show with my man Kill C. Ray as my co-host. You know, we both host a show. It's called Proof of Life Radio. The homeboy Tumex got a show called Tumex Hologram Radio and the Tumex Hologram Podcast. We got Cookbook, got a show called Really Though, orchestrated by Noah James, Lisa J. 60 East got On the Road with 60 East. I got to go through the whole thing. Crappy Awesome with Mr. Arash and Kill C. Ray. AWOL got the Broadcast Podcast coming up. We got a lot of podcasts and a lot of shit popping. We also a blog, so if y'all want to submit, info at platformcollection.com. Got some new music. Don't send me no shit that's like 2-3 weeks old. You know what I'm saying? But just hit us up and we can get the music played on the radio show if it fits format, or post it on the website. So that's one of the things I do musically, you know what I mean? Got the album Re-Blessed out, fully produced by Digital Martyrs. And we working on our next project. I will say this, Digital Martyrs and I have been working together for a minute, and now we're bringing in another really dope MC/producer who's doing very well right now, man. He's been on the charts. He had a new record that dropped early this year. We're not ready to put it out, but it's gonna be dope, man. It's gonna be nice. You know, connected with Digital Martyrs, I've always been kind of the dude who led the business side, a lot of times even led the music side, and just had full control. A lot of times I put most of the money in. If I didn't, I was the one coordinating who put in what. And I still do that, but now I got my man Off Balance from Digital Martyrs, who's just like me in his own respect, and now this new homie is the same thing. So we all are that dude in what we do. You know, we all are kind of like leaders, I guess you could say, team managers, you know what I mean, team leaders. And now us three together, because just Re-Blessed with my man Off Balance was like a breath of fresh air. Not only was he sharing it money-wise, but he's somebody who's like, we should do this, we should do that, actually producing, you know, not just making beats and I'm doing all the work. And now this other homie is the same shit. So I see not only some dope art that you're gonna be listening to and seeing, but some real creative moves that we're gonna be doing as, you know, three generals that know how to take the back seat to each other as well. So it's gonna be nice.
What's your opinion of the San Diego rap scene right now?
Man, San Diego, first of all, I'm from LA, I'm from Gardena. But I've been in San Diego for about 10 plus years, man. And it's dope. It's grown a lot. It's grown a lot. I think it's tight that I could drive 20 minutes and it seems like this might as well be a whole nother state because the scene that's popping right here and the sound that's coming out of here, whether you like it, you don't like it, whatever, is totally different. And it's like that in some places, but it ain't like that everywhere, man. San Diego has a lot of different scenes, and sometimes they come together. There's definitely homies that I'll see in these different scenes, and there's also homies that I only see here. And I don't know what their way of doing music and music business is, but they should probably get out more, you know what I'm saying? Myself as a family man, I can only go out so much because I'm trying to keep my structure at home strong, you know what I mean? Because if it ain't strong, the whole fucking thing's gonna crumble. So it's hard, and when I do go out, I make sure that I'm seeing homies. I get to hang out and have fun with my folks, but it's also business. It's also, you know, I'm in a business where I get to enjoy what the fuck I do. I used to go out with I used to be in a crew back in the day that I started as me two other homies. You know what I mean? And we'd go out, do a show, we rock the show, it's great. And man, I'm coming home after and I'm like, yo, I got this girl's number, I got this girl's number, did you see that bitch with the ass, blah, blah, blah. I seen all that shit and that's great, that's your thing. I'm like, yo, I connected with this dude, I got this dude's number, this dude does this, you know what I mean? I'm getting us on shows and shit. That's how I, you know, have fun, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's dope because in my business to have that's important, man, because the passion and like appreciating that shit makes it better. So when I go out there, I just went to the Urban Network conference and man, shout out to Artistic and his pops and the homie Tram, L, everybody, Melissa Pine. That was dope. Connected with a lot of dope people. I don't want to say their names because I kind of don't know if that's cool to, yo, I just hooked up with so-and-so. Here's his name. Yo, here's his email. Hit him up.
Yeah.
But I hooked up with a lot of good people, man, and had like real conversations with cats, not just about music. So that's just what it's about, man. And those are more things that kind of make me unique, I guess, because the more and more I get out there, I see people ain't like that, man.
And what are some of your interests and hobbies when you're not, well, you were saying you like to do the family thing, but when you're not making music, what else you like to do?
You know, it's hard to say because everything is not music, but it's all related to music. You know, I've been doing my own PR work for years, and over the last year, I started working with actual PR, like professional PR people, and worked with some people, and it was cool. And actually, that's how I hooked up with you. You know, shout out to the homie James Dunn, Dunn Deal PR. You know. But it's hard, man, because I got my family and it's only so much money to go around. And I actually ended up linking with this cat named Stat from Status Escalate, statusescalate.com. You know, shout out. And he just hit me up online and shit. And I'm like, okay, start talking with him and shit. And he hooked me up, you know. He started getting me on certain sites, so showing me love. Some sites I was actually able to do, but he's doing it for me. It's giving me the opportunity to do other things that I like to do, like graphics, aside from writing rhymes, write the music. I'm not getting too far off of what we're talking about. I'm actually bringing it back around. I've always done the PR work, and now working with this cat, who I've never met, by the way, is all over email, which is kind of weird. But I'm getting more into it, and I see myself kind of working towards that and helping him more, and you know, kind of maybe making that a thing in the future, you know what I mean? But everything I like to do is kind of surrounded by hip hop. It's shit that like helps me as an artist, you know, from doing websites to doing, you know, putting together my product and shit, man. If you ain't seen my product, 310music.net, I got a new cassette, you know, for the Rebless project, and I put the packaging together myself, you know what I mean? You just got to go and see it, you know, but man, I love all that shit. So those are the things I like to do, aside from the obvious putting together Legos with my son or kicking a beatbox while my son raps. He's 4. You know what I mean? Or just chilling with him and my wife watching TV or watching Ellen, who's fucking dope as fuck, by the way. She fucking gives mad shit to people. So she's somebody who's like a fucking gazillionaire, and every fucking show she's procuring sponsors to get people money or get people things that they need, you know? So chilling with fam and doing music related shit, you know what I mean?
And what would you say your top 2-3 goals for your career right now?
Right now? Ooh, that's easy. Easier. Man, I'm just trying to make this my number one. You know what I mean? I want to be able to make consistent money, like more than what I make doing my 9 to 5, just doing music and doing a lot of it from home. As much as I love touring, I want to be able to do this shit from home, you know what I mean? It sucks because you make more money touring, but less money per show. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm doing a one-off or just spending a weekend or even a week somewhere, I'll make less money than if I spent a month on the road. But guess what? I ain't spending a month on the road. Not for a while, at least. So licensing, you know what I mean? Being a bigger presence in the licensing world as far as my music, and possibly even being somebody who could hook up my folks, you know what I mean, and getting them publishing deals or licensing deals and shit like that. You know, those are all things that are goals of mine that not only will help me, but I could actually hand it over and help other people in my crew and just other people that I'm down with, man. So I don't know if I answered. I get 3. I got like 17 and shit up.
What advice would you give to aspiring artists?
Man, aside from being professional, I like to say this because it is a cliche and it's funny, but it's super real, so keep it real. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean don't have your thing. Like, some people have a fucking persona that they create, like fucking Larry the Cable Guy or Bobcat Goldthwait back in the day, you know what I'm saying? These comedians who create this persona. That's cool, do that, but keep it professional and keep it real. If that's your thing, then that's your thing. If you're out there claiming you're real, then try to be more real. Try to be more genuine, because that shit comes across. And yeah, some of these disposable kids who are probably gonna be dead because of the shit that you're trying to promote, you know what I mean? Anyways, I guess that don't matter. But if you really wanna be in this game for a long time, you can't be fronting and faking the funk all the time, you know what I mean? Real recognize real, we also recognize the fake. So whether I connect with somebody or not, we at least have like this bond that we know we're kind of genuine and shit. It's an odd thing, but when you see it and feel it, you'll know it, you know what I mean? So definitely do that, be professional, get a little more literal. Man, all your URLs, let's try to keep them all the same, you know? How about before you think of your name, you go ahead and Google how many other rappers or people in your exact same field have the same fucking name. Man, I'm the only fucking real Kahlee, by the way, Kahlee. There's another one I show love to, you know what I mean? I don't know the brother, but Kali from OC, he's, you know, reputable, shout out, never met him, but there's a couple other ones, they doing what they do, but they should have checked, you know what I'm saying? But do your thing, don't ever come at me, I'll chop your head off on some MC shit, by the way. But, for real.
Right.
No, hold up. But the URL, Kahlee310 and everything, you know what I'm saying? Not Kahlee3, Twitter /Kahlee310 and YouTube /Kahlee TV and fucking Tumblr /Kahlee GIF, and you know what I'm saying? Like, try to just make it easy for people, dude. Like, you gotta kind of treat people sometimes. Don't make it the hardest thing in the world to be discovered and listened to, yo. But don't make it the easiest either, you know what I mean? Because unfortunately, people don't want easy, but they don't want too difficult. Man, everything is finding that balance, dude. So that's it. Find that balance, be professional, and ultimately, man, make good products, man.
And money, fame, or love? You gotta pick one.
Love. I do love, money, and fame. I don't even necessarily want fame, but that's kind of a consequence to money a lot of times, at least in this business. You need money to help, you know, to buy things. It ain't the money you want, it's the things that you need money to get. But love, without a doubt. Because in the end, love is gonna get you through the times without money. Love is gonna get you to the money. You know what I mean? That's an easy one. Anyone who don't say love first is miserable as fuck, just so you know, even with all the money.
All right. And why should the listeners, anybody first time checking you out, why should they follow you on your journey?
Man, well, on some hip hop shit, if you like lyrics and you like just good quality music, check me out. You know what I mean? If you are a person who has a life and likes to like hear people that got a life similar to yours, check me out. If you like to just hear bars sometimes, check me out, man. SoundCloud.com/Kahlee310, YouTube.com/Kahlee310. You could really see what I'm about. But at the same time, if you just in it to hear some dope music, you could do that too. If you really want to connect with somebody who has a life similar to yours, man, just give it a chance. Might be your thing, might not be, but you ain't gonna see it and be like, that shit's whack. If you do, I don't know, you might be whack. If it's not your thing, that's cool too. But that's not the same as just being like, I ain't feeling that. You know what I mean?
And what you were saying your social media was again?
Everything at Kahlee310. I'm trying to go hard at the Snapchat. Holla at your boy. Don't get mad if I like miss your shit, cause still trying to figure out, did I touch it? I didn't see it. Where's it at? How do I see it again?
I know, right?
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you know, 310music.net, always got all my shit, so definitely go there. Hashtag the Fresh State. Shout out to all my Fresh State fam, my man Uptown Sweet, you know what I mean, Rick Scales, Poe politicking for sure, man. It's good reconnecting with you. Proof of Life Radio, you should search it. If you got an iPhone, you know, go on your podcast thing, just search it, man, and listen every other Wednesday. And send us some music, you know, whatever. But holler. Yeah, if you only knew what I've been through, maybe your mouth would stay shut, but no. Keep yapping, lose balance, I knew balance your dome. You playing with my dough and that's a no-no. Got a baby sucker, so I see you as stealing food off his plate. Open the floodgates like how that blood taste. Your civilized world's full of cowards, but walking my street, I show you real power. Said I'm a lover, not a fighter, but I do them both well. It's time to focus on your own before you see your boat sail. Punks are origami, folded while I'm all in. Now you tryna put me back on my back because you see me ballin'. Studied the 48 to 57 ultra war seduction. Tony Tupac all the way from Bone and Tupac. Believe I'm ready for what you got. It don't compare with pulling out my hair to choose to cut my bro off life support after another cold blue. Use a fleece so minuscule. I'm doing me, so do like me, except instead of me, do you. It's your man Kahlee, politicking with Poe, PoePoliticking.com. Fresh day.